Break on the block, we back, and today we have here a very special guest. I call him the Yaadman, the one and the only Jamaican entrepreneur. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Brian. Welcome my brother. Welcome to On the Block.
Respect. Thank you for having me. For
Thank
sure.
Thank you for coming, man. So yeah, I referred to you as the Yaadman, which is actually what you call yourself, right? But your real name is Brian. So I'd rather you introduce yourself to the people who don't know you.
I like that intro though. That's not bad. So my name is Brian Newell. I go by Yaadman Entrepreneur.
There you go, Yaadman.
I grew up in Jamaica till I was 16. I came to Canada, Winnipeg, Manitoba. I'm a full-time entrepreneur for the past 6 years. My business is buying and selling phones and fixing phones. So that's like my actual business that I started with from start. And now I have a clothing brand as well. So technically 2 businesses overall. So yeah, that's me.
You have a business and a brand, bro.
Yeah, business and brand. I guess that's how you can say it.
2 major cities you're running there, bro. That's crazy. So would you like to just introduce Subtle Savagery? Because you already dripped out.
Thank you.
Dripped out.
Appreciate it.
Looking clean, man. That's dope, man. That's dope.
It's gassing me up.
Nah, get us, bro. I mean this, man. But yeah, just quickly introduce the brand to the people, bro. Like, what is Subtle Savagery, you know?
So Subtle Savagery, it's a clothing brand for one, but it's deeper than a clothing brand. It's about like connecting to nature, connecting to God. You know, it's a very spiritual brand, to be honest, but at the same time, it's like spiritual with a style with it. You know what I'm saying? It's like a streetwear brand that I like to say has meaning to it. And the meaning represents balance.
Balance is harmony.
Balance is harmony, you know what I'm saying? So that's what Subtle Savagery represents. The good and the bad, the journey overall. You know, I recently saw a quote that says, the journey is the destination. You know what I'm saying? And when you fully understand that, like,
yeah, I need time to,
you know, like
you destination.
You know, the journey is the destination. So that means once you figure out your passion, you know, like you don't need to look for an end goal or end result. You just keep on working at it type shit. You know what I'm saying? So once you figure that out, if this is your passion, this is your destination. There's no end behind this, just only improvement.
Nah, bro, that's so real, because I thought about that like a couple months ago. Like, you know, we all say, oh, I can't wait to get there. I can't wait to, you know, be that person. But it's like, if you go with that mindset, when you get, okay, let's say your goal is $1 million, right? When you get there, it's like, what next? Like,
What's
what do you
next?
do, right? But if, like you said, the journey is the destination, you get the $1 million, okay, get another $1 million, get another, you know, just like that. So it never really stops, because the journey is the destination, bro. That was dope, man. But I had a follow-up question when you said Subtle Savagery was more than a brand. Like, obviously to you, you know all these things, you understand the meaning behind the brand, you understand the messages and all that. But how would you pass that message on to, like, maybe a first-time customer? Because I know you pretty well, right? I have your wristband. I have, you know, I have a couple. You've told me a couple of your sayings, so I know in that sense, you know, with your sayings and stuff like that, that's how you get that message across, right? But like to the people looking from the outside, right? People who are not necessarily in the circle, you know, like I said, a first-time customer, you know, how do you pass that message? Because, you know, like I said, you're dripped out, but I don't see anything, you know, like any spiritual message or stuff like that, right? So how does a clothing brand pass that message?
So that's a great question, first of all.
Thank you.
So the name alone, right? The name alone, Subtle Savagery. I recently heard someone said they never heard those 2 words go together.
Combination, yeah.
You know, because it's like an oxymoron. Like, how can you be subtle and a savage at the same time?
Yeah.
And that's where it takes some thinking to start looking within yourself, because we have examples of this every day. You know what I'm saying? Technically, we're all subtle savages. It's just that we got to figure it out.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
The wristband I have for the brand, it says blessed beyond belief. I really cherish this saying so much, because it encapsulates the brand itself. Like, you're so blessed that you can't even fathom it.
You can't know us, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So you could be going through some negative stuff in life, and you don't even realize that's actually a blessing in disguise. Because God works in mysterious ways, right? A lot of people in hindsight, they see that, but this represents foresight. You already know that the negative that happens, there's a good behind it. So the subtle savagery is about understanding that balance. And I've come to realize when it comes to the brand, like I have this saying, you got to go through it to get through it. If I have to say just one saying what a brand means, that's kind of like what it really means,
that's
you know?
a legendary saying, bro. Like, trust me, bro.
I know you like that one. I know you like that one.
Trademark that. So you have to go through it to get through it.
And I actually want to add an example. It's crazy, man. Starting of the year, I told you about this, bro. I got my car stolen.
Bro.
The most bizarre way. It's actually funny, to be honest.
Crazy story, man.
So like, oh, this is too perfect, to be honest. Like, so it was January 1st. I had my first ever training where I'm teaching people how to like do what I do, which is the phone buying and selling and flipping, right? I offered earlier, like 2023, I was offering to teach people how to quit their job and buy back their time. And that's how I came about with the training session. I was doing like a 30-day training session.
Right.
I had 2 students, and the first day of training went very well. Awesome. I learned a lot about myself, like that I can teach and I can actually provide value to people. I can get people to show up and actually get something from what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? So it was very fascinating. It was very fun, you know? And then
as well.
100%, you know, like I realized like this is something I actually enjoy, like not even getting money from it, and I actually like enjoy it and seeing people like, there's this lady that was like 46 years old that was listening to me and she's like, yo, that sounds good, that makes sense. I'm like, oh shit.
You, that's common, you know, that's common knowledge. It's
so
like,
simple, it's not even rocket science. I'm thinking I'm just like spewing some simple stuff. But when you don't know something, you know, it can be profound to you, you know?
Facts.
So, after that training session, I went home. That was the first day, yeah. So day 1, I went home, parked my car, supposed to drop my girl off after, and then, so this is the funny part. So we went in, I was supposed to come back quick. It's winter time, right? It was literally January 1st, so like cold as hell. I'm not trying to like warm my car up again, you know? I thought we should be good, you know? I had the car like locked and everything. We kind of spent too long inside for whatever reason. You know? And then I came back out, the window smashed, the car disappeared, you know, I was pissed, bro. At first I was pissed. I was like, yo, man, I've been going through so much, you know, like I'm like kind of talking to God, you know, why me, why now? Like I've been making progress, getting better in these areas, you know, and I was like, what the heck, you know, I was like, I was really pissed. Immediately, I don't know how God did it, but he made me notice the wristband.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? And I said, blessed beyond belief. I'm like, damn, yo, like, this is stuff I be preaching about, I be talking about. And it's like, God is trying to test me right now.
Better listen to yourself. Listen to your own sayings.
And it's crazy because once I looked at the wristband and I started to realize, like, yo, I got to take my own advice. I was like, shit, I'm chilling.
Calming down, right.
You know, I was like, yo, it was probably for a reason. I started to, like, find reasons of why, like, maybe this happened to me. Like, I could have went out earlier, got shot or some shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's so many things that could have happened. And after that, moving forward, it was just like, I started to appreciate, like, not having, you know, because it's like, I wasn't used to that no more. I was used to always having my car, just drive whenever I want, but I had to start busting again. And it just made me get
grateful for what you have.
You know, grateful for what I have, you know, I had my life, that's the most important thing. And it just started made me look at things differently. Like, what do I value? Do I like live by what I'm preaching out there, trying to like influence other people to do? So that's what Subtle Savagery represents.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying?
Beautiful, man. Like there's so much stuff you've said to me on a personal level that I feel like we need to go deep. But it's like, it's just so much that if we start, we never, like there's no end to it. You know, you said so many, there was one you said about finding the blessing I forgot how you phrased it, but it was you between the lines of finding the blessing within the troubles or something like that. Like, you know, you're going through tough times, but you have to find the blessings within those tough times. You're like, even death in itself, like,
yeah, 100%.
There's a blessing in that. You get to meet your creator. You go to, you know, you're resting in peace, right? You know, so there's a blessing in that. So, you know, that's really what you did in that moment. You know, I was like, okay, in the midst of this trouble and chaos, I have to find our blessing. And I sure know it's not the easiest thing to do. In that moment, you didn't want to see bless beyond the
No, on my car, bro.
Exactly, that's true. I don't want to see this, bro. You get me? But you have to, you know, you have to calm. And for the fact that you're the one preaching this, you know, you can't just, nah, fuck that, man. You know, you actually have to listen to yourself, bro. But yeah, man, like we'll come back to Subtle Savagery, right? You've given us you've told us a little bit about Yaadman Entrepreneur. We know it's like flipping of phones, right? So, you know, you buy it, you sell it, and now you're doing way more than that. You know, you're fixing the phones, you're teaching people, you know. So I'd like for you to just, like I said, you've already mentioned like the introduction, right? So just tell us a little bit more about it. Like, we're in Winnipeg, right? If you go into a mall, you see at least 5 cell phone repair businesses, right? What is the difference between your regular one and then Yaadman Entrepreneur? Because I for sure tell there's a difference, right? But I'd like to hear from you.
Okay, so let me pull this out real quick.
Okay.
I feel this alone will set me apart from the rest.
Okay.
Just my business card.
Okay.
All right, my business card has been like such a blessing to me. And it's because it says this, so I can show it to the camera.
Yeah.
It says, trust and transparency creates longevity. Can I say nigga on this shit?
Don't say what you want to say, my G.
Just being a real nigga, bro.
Don't be a real nigga, bro. It's great longevity.
You know what I'm saying? And like, I'm starting to understand, like a lot of stuff I say, people don't understand now until like they kind of experience it. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I met a guy that used to buy and sell with me. He used to buy phones off me. He's a reseller, right? But he's more into cars.
Okay.
And he kind of slowed down on the phones. And I saw him like yesterday for the first time in such a long time. I did a few repairs for him. And he was like, bro, I started to understand what you mean about like the small profit and like building a good reputation, getting them to come back. You know, like I feel like my specialty, and to add to what makes me stand out, is having the ability to get people to come back very religiously, you know, where they won't even think of other people, you know, and it's because you provide so much value that they don't even want to think about, yo, do I pay, there's a cheaper version or this, that, like, bro, I've had people who, they've like someone, like another reseller sent them to me because maybe they're not in the city.
Okay.
Right? Okay. And I'm big on like not taking people's customer and like keeping my customer and stuff like that. So I'll never give them my card if someone sent me a customer to like do a quick job, right? And recently, which I've seen it a few times now, but recently this person was like, yo, the person that sent me to them, I was like, yo, right now I don't have this and that, like go to that person. And it took a couple days for them to reply to me, and when they replied to me, they were like, yo, I'd rather go with you. For some reason, whatever. I'm like, yo, that's crazy, but I'm not surprised.
Right.
So yeah, the main way I feel like I stand out and I'm different than everybody else is being able to getting my customer to religiously come back, and that's just based off how I treat people, of the value I provide, what I value, you know. Like I value people very highly, you know. I always tell people don't value money. Money is a byproduct of
everything you want,
providing value and good service, you know. So don't focus on that, focus on what you're giving, and then it will come to you in the long run.
If you add value, you get the money, you get more than money. But
definitely, bro.
So many privileges, so many doors will be open for you if you're adding value to people's lives. But if you're focused on the money, you know, like, they'll just throw the money in your face. And
not only that, they can feel it, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'll probably never come back to you.
Right. It's like, oh, this guy just wants my money. And that's one thing I was going to say. Like, you're very genuine with it. It's not like you're trying to, you know how, like, mechanics try and make you come back. Like, oh, you take something out of your car. Okay, so now you're forced to come back. Or like McDonald's, where they put like all these chemicals that, you know, send stuff into your brain. You know, like do it in a very manipulative way. You know, they have
Some
like,
pseudo shit, some pseudo salesman type shit.
Right, it's like it's not even your choice to come back. You're almost forced to come back. Whereas you is like, it's a very genuine, okay, I'm giving you this value, and whether or not I'm giving you the value, still your choice. You know, like if you decide this is your last time you're going to ever, you know, patronize me, I'll still give you that same value. So like you said, it's not about the money, it's strictly about value and service, right? So yeah, bro, that's something you wouldn't find any and everywhere. And I feel like it's something I think about a lot. Like when you're, I don't want to use the word small because it diminishes value, right? But when it's more local, let me say, like when you own a local business where it's just one shop and then it's just like one branch, right? It's easier to be like that. But when you start expanding, like a franchise, for example, you know, you can't necessarily control how things are done in, like, let's say you have a branch in Vancouver, for example. You won't always be there in Vancouver, right? So it's like your branch in Winnipeg could be 100%, but the branch in Vancouver could be like 80% or 70%. So I feel like I haven't gotten to that level in business or in my service yet, but it's something I think about a lot, and I'm like, you know, just trying to figure out a way to maintain that quality, to maintain that value, regardless of where we are or how big the brand is.
So you said 80%. That stood out to me because I read a book this year, which is probably the most impactful book I've read in a long time. It's called, first of all, the book is Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell.
You mentioned that before, yeah.
And you said 80%, which was very, like, stood out to me because he says 80% of, okay, how does he say it? Something like, 80% of somebody else's work is 100% freaking awesome. So
80% might be enough.
the thing is, the only way for you to grow is to clone yourself, which is kind of hard to clone like a perfect Jeffrey, you know what I'm saying? But for instance, like my business partner, I was able to clone myself in that aspect. Like he's able to do all the repairs for the most part. I still probably know a little bit more than him, but for the most part, he's doing all the repairs right now. I haven't done a repair in a long time. He knows how to make sales. He can negotiate to a certain degree, you know, but he's not 100%
like
me.
you, yeah, exactly.
You know, he's 80%, which is enough. So like, if I'm going into Toronto right now, if I go to Regina right now, he's still here, and I can still go get phones over there where it's cheaper there, send it back to him. He do all the sale. I've already built up the clientele where they're already coming back. You know, so if you can teach enough and teach well enough so someone can do at least 80% of a job, they're not perfect, they're doing good enough, you know? It's better than nothing at all, because then that way you're able to multiply yourself.
And I'm glad you mentioned cloning yourself, because that was my next question. You know, like, it's something you've spoken to me about. You mentioned it so many times, how, and you mentioned it here as well, you know, teaching people to do what you do, so that in cases where you have to go to somewhere else, you know, the business is still running, you're here recording, but you know, business shop is still open right now, business is still running. And it may seem so easy, oh, cloning yourself, but you know, it's one of those things that takes a lot of humility, self-control. Like, there's so many virtues you need, because you don't just want to go in there and control this person. They're not a puppet, right? You know, to go here, go there, go there. You know, you have to step back, you know, let them do their thing. But at the same time, there's a standard that needs to be met. So it's like, yes, in as much as I'm not trying to be controlling, I can't just let you do whatever you want. So I'd like for you to just, you know, talk as much as you want on cloning yourself, like how difficult it is. Because I can imagine, right? It's like, because you're also going to learn more about yourself when you're cloning yourself. You see how imperfect you are, you see your mistakes and stuff like that. To some people, it's very overwhelming, it's an eye-opener, right? So I would like for you to share your experience on, you know, cloning yourself. Like, first of all, what got you into, like, what put you in that mindset that, okay, I need more people like me? And when you were doing this, like, what are the things you faced, you know, the challenges you saw, the obstacles and stuff like that?
Okay, so I noticed I needed to clone myself when I started to get really busy, when I couldn't do everything on my own, when I was like picking up phones, then I gotta do the repair. Then I see a good deal, I gotta stop the repair, gotta go get it, pick up the phone. Like, it becomes overwhelming, you know? So when it gets to that point, you kind of know that you need other people. But the struggle with finding other people is finding the right people. Like, I've come to learn that, like, that's the most important thing.
Facts.
And cloning yourself doesn't just mean like another person. When I say cloning yourself, it's more like the mindset more than anything.
Okay.
You know, I was lucky to find my business partner who, the reason why I even made him my business partner is because he's big on God. Everything he talks about God is God made me do this. Even the negatives he goes through, he can find a way to see how God made him get there, you know?
Right.
So he's very trustworthy. But at the same time, he's not perfect. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect, fam. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And I had a point where I had to realize that, and I had to take a step back. And I realized that it was in the book as well, that you can't get 100% out of nobody, bro. Like, nobody can be 100% you, because there's only one you.
Only one you, bro. Facts.
So certain things that I was very strict on, as much as I'll emphasize it, I don't want to be a nag, because you want to make people comfortable as well.
Right.
You know, so I have to, like, sometimes I have to let them fail, which failure means they lose money too. Like, you break a part or something, and then at least, like, I don't, like, when they do that, I don't, like, grill them. You know, I kind of let them understand, like, oh yeah, okay, it's okay.
Could have been you as well.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
And it happened to me in the past already. You know, so that's
go.
where I'm able to have the patience. But, like, you want to give them enough room so they can make that mistake as well. And they'll be like, oh, I see why Brian said that. Da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? And also they will learn stuff that you never, like, knew about. Like, they could probably try a different way that you never thought about. And I'm like, oh, shit, it actually makes sense. You know? So the most difficult thing is just finding the right people, I'd say.
Bro, I'd agree with you. And it's like, cloning yourself is almost like, from what you mentioned, it's almost like raising a child, for example. I can't count the amount of times I'll be crying and screaming, you know, and my mom will just watch us like, you'll be fine, like, you know, you'll be all right. And truly, that's how it is. Like what you said about the failing, you know, you have to let them go through that pain, go through that hurt. You can't always pamper your child or spoil your child or help your child. You know, sometimes they have to, you know, get burned by the fire, and next time they will know not to go near the stove or anything hot, right? So yeah, it takes a lot of patience, and like there was something you mentioned. I feel a lot of people are not ready for, is that you need to be ready to lose when you're training someone or cloning someone to be yourself. You know, you need to be ready to lose. Even in business, in general,
life,
right? You need to be ready to lose, because, like you said, they could break stuff. You know, and it's not like they were being careless or anything. Could probably just been very careful, and you know, but accidents happen. In that moment, you're so hot and you're so angry, but you know, you need to, like you said, it has happened to you before. It can happen to anybody. So it's I don't think it's something everybody can do, because you need to be at a certain level of maturity. You need to have a certain level of patience and understanding to do stuff like that. So I'll give you your credits, man. But yeah, man, running two businesses, two brands, bro, is not easy. You know, it's not ideal. You don't see people do that, especially at this level. You know, it's mainly like, okay, they've made a name for themselves in this field, and they now venture into something more of an investment kind of way. But for you, it's more so ownership. Like you own everything. You know, like you have your team and you're constantly building your team. So just briefly, could you just talk about it? You know, like your lessons you've learned from that, your mistakes, you know, obstacles. You know, you have the floor.
That's a great question. You know, I've been learning a lot about that, the nuances of the two businesses recently, a lot lately. And it's totally different, bro. Like,
exactly.
In the sense of like my phone business, when I started that, like I had immediate success. So I found out about the idea. I tried it one day, it worked the next day type shit. I quit my job within a month of doing that. So that's been successful from day one.
Wow.
And now the complete contrast is a clothing brand.
Right.
I'm a fucking novice, bro.
You have to build. You know, those things take time. It's not 5 years. I mean, 5 years you could succeed in 5 years, right? But then most people will go there like, oh, in 5 years I'm going to make. Like, you have to be realistic, right?
Definitely.
You know, like the phone business, next day you're already making money off it. You know, Like, bro, I can.
And I put people on and they see it. So like I'm not just, it's not just for me. It's a different perspective. Right? So with the clothing brand, I've had it for 3 years now.
Wow.
And like this is like my last job has been like the most successful. The only, like, to be honest, only actual successful job I have had.
I was going to say, like, you've been doing it for 3 years. I've seen all your jobs. You've been showing me stuff, but like, this is the first time that you feel, oh, I know what I'm doing now, and like, this is actually what I want to do. And how many years? 3 years.
Yeah.
So you can imagine, right? It's like you're genuinely building something. You know, you don't just build a mansion in 1 day or in 1 month or in 1 year. You lay the foundation. You know, do this, do that, do this. Even when it's up there and erect, you have to do the finishing touches. So, like, is in the moment, you know, it's like, oh gosh, when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen?
Yeah.
It's been 3 years, man. It's been 3 years, you know.
And I've seen people further along, in my opinion. If you ask them, they might not believe that, because it's all about perspective and how you feel about a perspective, right? But I've seen people in further along, in better position, and the tough times made them quit. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the brand specifically. I'm not talking about the phones.
Right.
Brand is a whole different animal, fam.
It's not for the weak. It's not for the weak, bro.
If you're not passionate about this shit, quit.
You quit.
I'm telling you right now. Get a 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying?
Every fucking hour, bro. Like, this guy has no rest. Someone's calling him, this one, that one, you know, it's like, ugh.
And it's so much you have to pour into it. If I didn't have my phone business, it wouldn't be possible to do the clothing brand, you know? But, however, this is the key thing I would say. I've been more fulfilled for the past 3 years because of my clothing brand than anything the phone business can ever do for me.
Right.
Money, when I've had $1,000 days, like, it's cool, because I gotta pay bills and shit, like, whatever, right? But it doesn't give me the same joy and fulfillment like when I hear the feedback from people. Yo, the quality is so good. I remember the last stuff you had compared to this. Like, bro, I cannot explain this shit.
Nah, it's a different feeling, bro. It's a different
like
feeling.
You cannot quantify that, like, fulfillment, bro. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's how I look at the two businesses, the differences between them. Like, one is more like a passion, the other one is like a means to an end.
Wow.
You know?
That's beautiful. And it's funny because even if it's a means to an end, it doesn't mean you're just solely money.
And even, no, that's a fact.
Value and relationships and
that's the foundation.
Right, exactly, man. Do you have any, like, future goals, future plans, or anything, you know, words of inspirations you want to drop out there? Let's look at it as a time capsule, you know, something I could come back to in a couple years and be like, wow, you know, like, that was my mindset at that time.
Damn, that's the one thing I never really thought about on the way here. But if I'm gonna go off the dome, so I'm gonna say some of my generic shit. You know what I'm saying?
Some of your sayings, drop it, bro.
It's live life while you're living. Live life
Cameraman
while you're living.
He's feeling that one, bro.
My brother, for real though, and that's some real shit.
Yeah, live life while you're living.
Let me hit you with another one. Because, well, I guess it's a part of it, I guess. But it's because we're all on a time limit and we don't know our limits.
Facts, bro. Anybody can be gone anytime, any day, man.
And I would say, compared to all my sayings, this is like my motto. I live by that. You know, I try my best to, like, even my brand, you know, with my failures even. I'm so happy that I've been through, like, a lot of my failures already, compared to a lot of people who are, like, at my age or even older. They don't even want to face failure.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? They don't want to try it. And now that I've already been through all that, I'm like, yo, right now I'm cruising. You know, I don't have fear. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna go out with a bang.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, knock on wood, we don't die soon.
No.
Just saying.
No.
But, you know, damn, bro, I don't like talking like this because words are powerful.
Yeah, words are powerful.
But I know whenever my time comes, like, I'm pretty confident that I'm gonna be okay with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not like,
You're comfortable.
I'm not like,
satisfied.
I gotta live to this a certain amount of time. I just want to like live right now, to be honest. Live in the moment, and just enjoy life while it lasts, you know?
All right, there was something, I don't know whether it was Elon Musk or one of them guys. He was like, there's no way, you know, we live here on Earth, even if it's 50, 70 years, right? And you have this, like, the Earth, right? And you go through it without leaving a mark on it, right? Like, you just come and go. Like, you know, and since the moment I heard that, I was like, yeah, bro, I have to do something. I need to be remembered for something. Even if it's in this small city of Winnipeg, you know, I still want to be remembered. You know, even if it's in Manitoba, even if it's just Canada, even if it's just North America, let them remember me for something. Because truly, how would I just come and go like that, you know? Like, didn't do anything here on earth. That's a waste of a lifetime, right? So yeah, bro, you heard it from the Yaadman himself. Live life while you're living. Brother, it was so good having you.
Big up
here,
yourself,
bro.
Majid. Thanks for
Amazing
having me.
episode, bro. Insightful,
Bless,
man.
bless, bless, bless.
Have a good one.
Peace.